welcome back to a Reddit VOD review. I am a 5x challenger, Rek'Sai, Kayn, Wukong main. Trying to just do some stuff that I love. I love coaching, I love this game, so trying to get better at it by doing a few free VOD reviews, getting some reps in. I'm very confident in my knowledge in this game, and I can dissect and help people learn what they can do to fix their gameplay. I'm really good at the process of learning and how to break things down into actual practical and measurable things. So I'm going to hopefully be able to convey that through these little coaching VODs. I'm going to be I give away one free VOD review to people who post asking for questions with their op.ggs. Or even like if they want to just post an entire VOD, that's awesome as well. Because it helps me out, it makes me better at VOD reviewing and gets more reps in of seeing certain games and what people are messing up. But it also helps you out. And if you want to get more coaching, I am available about $20 per session. I can do live VOD reviews. We can just go over any questions you have, any drills or anything. Like we can do whatever. I can help you, maybe even curate something that will help you specifically, or like focusing on certain learning objectives if you want to do that, rather than just going through like what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to try to point out everything that I can that I think is detrimental to your gameplay. It might not necessarily be super hyper focused on what you can do, but it will give you I'll give you at least something to take away from it that you can work on. So without further ado, this guy posted saying they tumbled from Plat 2 to Gold 2 and they're really struggling and they're just looking for some help. Is their mental just fucked and they're the problem? The quality of the game is generally tanked starting a month ago. That's definitely not true. Was you getting really lucky and law of averages caught up to you? That could be true. But I'm not going to worry about that. It doesn't matter. We can just look at your gameplay. And you're a Briar main, it looks like. Also play a little bit of Nasus and Rammus, but I don't really know much about playing Nasus jungle. Rammus is also kind of a weird one. He's got really slow clear, so you're going to mostly be ganking a lot. I like Briar, though. I'm really good at bruisers, so let's see what we can and we can take away from this. So, first of all, we're going to look at our lanes where we want to path. That should always be our first thing. I mean, you could just, if your intention, you could also just really consistently just path top to bot and be fine every single game. And some games it's going to be incorrect, but if you're doing it with intention and doing something very consistently and taking out variance in your games, that is a great way to climb. So it's totally fine if you just want to not even think about necessarily the lane matchups and just do top to bot every single game. At some point you're gonna have to start thinking about it. You know, as soon as you get into like Emerald Plus, like that's when you have to start thinking about the game a little bit more holistically. But at your elo, if you're in gold and you're just trying to get to platinum, honest to God, you could just do top to bot clear every single game and eventually it'll work. It's not great in the long term because you're not thinking about the game holistically, but for getting results the fastest you want, and if you just don't really care about getting further than platinum, you know, that'll work. But I'm going to go over a little bit of assessing the lane matchups and why we should path the way we're pathing. Top lane is Trundle versus Vladimir. Vladimir has like very little damage in the early game. He can't really do a whole lot in the early game, especially against Trundle. Trundle's very strong. His base stats are really good in the early game. Vladimir will eventually do really good against Trundle if he can maintain like not dying and not letting Trundle snowball. But at the start of the game, we don't really want to path there because he also doesn't apply anything for us, right? Think about the CC that this guy gives you. He gives you nothing. So if you run up top lane, Trundle's not going to be able to be locked down very easily. You're not going to be able to kill him very easily. So we're just going to avoid top lane in the early game anyway. Bot lane is a Jinx and a Annie. So Jinx doesn't bring a lot of damage early game either. She doesn't really want to trade. She just wants to kind of scale and play for late game, get 3 items, and be a menace. Lux and Ezreal is going to be very strong as well. So you actually have two kind of lanes that are going to get shoved in the early game most likely here on the sides. So that's kind of rough for you. Luckily, you're going against an Ivern, so Ivern can't really threaten to kill you on invades as much, but it is it's kind of unfortunate that you have the lanes that you do in the side lanes. But we're gonna probably path like almost like this is actually kind of an interesting one because we have a mid lane as well, Katarina and Locke. This is the infamous thing that I've told somebody else before that I feel like this, and I've also given a prime example. I have a recording of a VOD of me playing a melee versus melee mid matchup where two assassins both taking Ignite, both taking Electrocute. Oh, I guess she's taking Conquer, but usually they take Electrocute as well, and then they're just gonna all in fight each other with all of their burst at level 2 and level 3. This is a matchup that you're gonna be looking at really, really closely. We want to be able to influence this and be the difference maker in this fight because it's going to be very, very close. They're going to all in each other at level 2 or level 3, and they're going to melt each other's health bars. One of them will eke out the win with their Ignite, and the other one will be like 10 HP just shoving the wave out trying to get a recall as soon as they can. It's usually how this goes, 90% of the time. So level 3, we need to be thinking about this. This is one of the few like scenarios that I never try to full clear in these games. I usually I will full clear if there's like nothing happening in mid at level 3, but like we should be thinking, okay, maybe we start Raptors or red buff because we want to have the red buff for this level 3 all in. So we could think about maybe even doing a red buff Krugs into Raptors into mid lane just to have the red buff for the fight. But then we're end up pathing top lane, which is just kind of awkward. Because we don't really want to path into top like because of previously mentioned things. So it's probably fine to just start our blue buff here. We could do blue Gromp into Wolves. We won't have red buff for this, which is kind of awkward, but it's okay. It's fine. We can be the difference maker anyway without our red buff. So we'll probably just start our blue because we don't want to path in the top, and bot lane is not bad to just like defend, right? Like sure, your Jinx isn't going to be really good at like fighting in the early levels, and they're probably going to get poked down a lot, but that's exactly the reason maybe we want to path into bot lane, because we want to potentially protect them from any potential dive, or maybe if they're just trying to CS under tower and getting poked out and Ivern comes around here and tries to stun them and stuff. We want to be here to like kind of protect them and let Jinx farm. Because Jinx farming in this game is really good for us. We want Jinx to be strong in this game, I think. Because they don't have like a super easy way to get to Jinx other than like Locke's dashing, I guess. They're mostly like kind of front to back, besides like Locke. So Jinx is actually fairly strong in this game. But we also need Katarina to snowball. I think if Katarina, like whoever wins in mid lane is going to really determine the tempo of this game. That all being said, let's try to just get into it. Okay, we get a ward over here. I like this. I like this ward a lot. I do it every game because it just kind of shows where they are or where they aren't. This, of course, Ivern is doing some cheeky things. Absolutely obnoxious Ivern gameplay. But this doesn't really matter all that much. It's like, sure, he takes your red buff, but who cares? I mean, it's like, it's one camp. It sucks, but like, again, especially in this game where we're going to be looking mid most likely. Oh my gosh, your Jinx already died. That's pretty scary. So, what happened here, man? Did she back already? What, was she late to lane? What was this? Oh, okay, so she just kind of like connected late. But I don't know why she's walking up. What was that? Okay. Your Jinx is trolling. Or she's having internet issues, seems like. She's kind of just walked into her face, even though they had this worded. That was weird. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Let's watch your gameplay a little bit here. Well, this is crazy. Your Katarina. So, like, this happens sometimes. This is like the 10%er. Katarina and Locke just are not fighting. It looks like Katarina's just kind of giving up shove here. And that's fine. Yeah, and so if this happens, we just continue to full clear. This is totally fine. Sucks, we lose our red buff, but it is what it is. You're spotted on a ward. There's nothing to do here. So this is one of those things like, it's a very slow early game. You don't have a lot to do. Because he took your red buff, you got spotted on a ward. Katarina's not fighting in mid. It's just is what it is, and you just have to play slow. This is a great. You're just getting a ward. Okay, we get the Scuttle Crab. This is totally fine. After Scuttle, we're just going to recall because they know your bot lane, so this gank never works. Also, considering that, like, I mean, Ezreal has Flash and Barrier still, and they're both full HP, and you just don't have a whole lot of bursts and ways to kill these guys. This is not, like, a very high percentage gank. Even if Andy gets a stun, like, it's just not very high percentage, so we should just take the crab here. Look mid before we recall. Okay, might be able to get a kill here. Oh, did we waste our stun? What happened to our stun here? Did we use it on the crab? Oh, why did you use it on the crab? My guy. Okay, so this is bad. No reason to use this on the crab. I guess because you probably weren't thinking about this. That's my guess. My guess is you're just kind of like, I'm hitting the crab, I want to kill the crab. And this is an afterthought for you. This is something that happens in low elo. I notice a lot. I mean, it's very obvious. Like, this is something that as you get better at the game, you just start juggling more information in your head. If you think about the thoughts of, like, for example, a platinum player versus a challenger player within the span of a minute, say a minute in the in-game time, the thought process and the things that a challenger player is juggling in their head is going to be like 2 or 3 paragraphs long in the span of a minute. Whereas, like, you know, a platinum player, it might be like 2 sentences. You know, like there's just so much more thought going into the game, like pre-anticipated thoughts. Like, you have to start anticipating things a little bit more. And you're just not anticipating this, right? Like, I don't think you even thought like the pre-game plan. You probably just did, like I mentioned, if you're just like brain off, just playing top to bot every single game. That's probably what most platinum players and like gold players do. But as like a higher elo player, you're thinking like in the champion select and loading. Like, we're thinking about the game plan. How does the enemy team win the game? How do you win the game? Like, is there actually good gank opportunity in this bot lane, in this mid lane? What's gonna happen in this mid lane matchup? Like, it's certain like just like, what do they call that? It's just like you know, predetermined thoughts. Like, just like you're just thinking of it ahead of time, so you can plan accordingly when certain things happen. And you give yourself a flow chart. Be like, okay, if mid lane is fighting level 2 or level 3, then that means I'm going to go there. I'm going to pull off my camps. If they don't fight, then we're going to just keep clearing, right? If I'm on the Scuttle Crab and I notice that my mid lane's fighting, then I need to pull off the Scuttle Crab and fight. But we end up using our Q on the Scuttle Crab, not actually anticipating that they might fight in the mid lane. And so now we don't have our Q to stun up block here, which is really bad for us. Cat, oh my goodness. You got lucky that Cat did not die. You actually got kind of lucky. I'm glad you got the kill. I'm very glad you got the kill, but it's like, it's just really unlucky. I mean, it's just really lucky that Katarina did not die there. Okay, so what happened here? I actually just went over a lot of this over here. So we know that Ivern ganked here. I don't like going for the crab here. I mean, like, sure, you can fight the Ivern. Do you kill him, though? I don't think it's worth it, because you just lose tempo in your camps, right? So, like, you just did the Scuttle Crab. It's 324 in game. Your Gromp's going to be spawning, and you need to get back to your camps. Yeah, so, like, this is just a waste of time. You're wasting your time, and now... Okay. So, look, now your Gromp's already spawning, but you're not there. If you had not done that chase, you would just be on the Gromp right now. Be on Gromp. Your Gromp would have been dead. You'd been on Wolves. Your Wolves would have been dead. You'd be walking over here. That is so annoying. Ivern is super annoying. I don't know what you're doing right now, to be honest. Did you see him walk over a ward? Oh, you saw him walk over a ward, so you thought maybe you could clear his camps. I see. I like the look. This is actually a really good thought. If we know where Ivern is, then like we can maybe abuse that timing to be like, okay, I know where Ivern isn't then, and so I can maybe invade his camps on an opportunity. I like the idea and the intent. It's just that since you don't have any jungle tracking, then you don't know where he is. I would rather clear the wolf camp first before you try to do the invade, because at least like you can sync up these camp respawns, but it is what it is. Great. That was a great gank. Love that. Okay, let's... Guess what? This is a really good opportunity to actually just punish Ivern as well. Katarina is now in a really good position. You don't have enemy mid laner to deal with. We can go punish, like, attack him on his camps here. I would not do the dragon level 4 either. Like, this is just killing your tempo. I mean, I would rather just go clear camps or, like, go punish him on camps at this point. Especially because, like, yeah, you don't have... Like mentioned before, like, your bot lane's not going to win this. Like, you have a losing bot lane, essentially, here. This is just killing your tempo. Yeah, we don't... You just kind of leash the dragon for them. And then we go to do our wolves. I don't like this either. This is like again, because now our wolves are going to be completely desynced from our Gromp, and this will matter later. This is exactly like the VOD review I just did earlier, of just how like the snowball nature of the game is. This is gonna mess with you 2 minutes later. I bet you. Like, you're gonna have no idea what to do because your camps are so desynced now. Like, your Raptor's not synced up with anything. Your wolves aren't gonna be synced up with anything. And you're gonna be so confused on what to do. Your clear is gonna be so messy. So instead of doing this wolf camp, we had the timer on the Raptor, right? Like, we knew when his Raptor spawned because we walked over and we have the timer on it now, right? So when you see this happen and they come over here, you see Ivern, right? Because you have the pink ward. Why does this run straight to his Raptors here? This would be a good opportunity to counter jungle again, right? So you had the right idea when he showed up on your Raptors to go do it, but then you just didn't implement it again. Like, you just, for some reason, forgot that that was, like, a thing you could do. Are you gonna get it? Okay, well, you get it, but it's just super late, and, like, yeah, now you're, like, again, the wolves is so desynced. It's super late, and Locke is gonna collapse on you, right? Ivern could not respond to this Raptor camp take if you would have done it before your wolves. So you burn your flash, that sucks. Okay, we get the Scuttle Crab. Let's just get level 6. We do our blue buff, get level 6. Going top. This is great. I actually do like this, because this is a point where I think, like, Trundle is snowballing a bit, but, like, he's not that scary yet because he hasn't completed an item. He's not completely scary here. This is not bad. I actually really like this. Oh, man. What happened? Did Vladimir just not help you? I guess he didn't have ult. He already used ult. Okay. This is fine. I think maybe you're just too late to use your E. You need to use your E earlier. Yeah, you're like too greedy. You're way too greedy for this Ivern kill. You just need to E earlier. He was way too greedy for it. Like, yeah, this is all fine. And then you just kind of ruin it. Like, your combo's dead, and now you're just kind of like running at him. But as soon as Trundle kind of like walks up, this is a great opportunity to E right here. Because Vladimir has nothing to actually help you right now. He just has his pool. Actually, no, his pool's down too. He doesn't have ult. Like, yeah, we just need to chill. He just kind of like greeted really hard. Which is bad because... Oh, and you blame the Vladimir for this? My guy. No, this is your fault. This is entirely your fault. You can't be blaming Vladimir for this, dude. You just got greedy. You got way too greedy for the Ivern kill. As soon as all of your abilities are down, I mean, like, he's still got full like half HP. You just like went super hard on this. Like, Vladimir's here. He can't do anything, my guy. Like, he used all of his abilities. He's an ability-based champion. He can't auto attack. Like, his auto attacks aren't going to do anything to Trundle. And he's trying, man. He is. This is your fault because you just didn't E. Sad. Anyway, next sequence. I'm actually going to turn Fog of War of the enemies off, just so it's a little bit more realistic to what you're seeing in the game. I keep forgetting to do that. Okay, we see Locke actually recalling. We don't have a lot of tempo, so we need to actually clear our camps here. I don't know why you decided to start bot side, though. It's kind of confusing to me. I think it's because maybe they're fighting, so you're just kind of walking that way, but you should just be going to your Gromp here. Like, again, why aren't we pathing to this bot lane here? Vladimir's 0-3. Like, this top lane is over, man. There's nothing you can do about this top lane, so putting your pathing up into top lane is just... You're gonna mess this game up really bad. You're messing your tempo and your sequences here. Okay, we're going into... I don't know why we're walking into river here. This is just a death sentence. If we don't know where Ivern is, KATARINA is bot right now. Okay, so we see Ivern or Dandy. What is this? What's her name? Dandelion or something? Whatever. Daisy. What are you gonna do here? I mean, like, you could get collapsed on by both Locke and Trundle here. This is a horrible choice. And like I said, like if you would have done Gromp into Wolves and went to bot side, you would be synced up with your KATARINA here. This is where you're kind of like desynced from your team. Your KATARINA is trying to dive bot lane. Meanwhile, you're just like all the way over here. How could we have fixed this, right? Like, think about it from this point of view. After this play was made and you died, we see KATARINA running top, this is kind of awkward, right? We don't really want to deal anything with this because Jinx is dead, so this is not a play. Like, it looks like it could be a play, but it's not. There's nothing to do here. Who's strong on your team? It's just you. KATARINA is actually not doing horrible, though. She's not behind. She's actually ahead of the Locke right now. So your main win con right now is just playing around you and KATARINA roams. So we need to just wait till KATARINA's ready to roam, but like she's roaming top, so why not just like go top lane? We can go top side here. Like, what if she actually gets in a situation where she needs your help? She's your win con right now. There's no play to be had in bot lane, so why are we deploying there? It just doesn't make any sense. I get it that you're just kind of running to Krugs to clear your Krugs, but like, it just doesn't matter. And even like, maybe your argument is like, well, what if Ivern invades my red and takes my red? It's like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Like, the CS difference, like Ivern having like 10 CS over you is not going to determine the game, guarantee you. Ivern is not like a hyperscaling like Gwen or something that's just like, or Nasus that needs farm. Like, he's going to do his job regardless of farm, and it's like, sure, maybe it puts you a little behind, but it's better to be shadowing your KATARINA who needs, like, your KATARINA needs to win, or else you lose this game. And then look here, like even here, like you see your KATARINA's roaming bot lane. So what are we going topside for? Like even here you could just determine that, okay, well my KATARINA's trying to make a play on bot lane. Like, let's go. Like, what are we doing? Let's walk towards this bot lane. Look at this. And Ivern's even getting on this action. Ivern's actually jungle diffing you here. He's protecting his bot lane from getting dove. If you're here though, you might actually be able to dive this even with Ivern here. And KATARINA wants this. She wants this really bad, but meanwhile, you're just doing nothing. Sure, you're getting grubs, but who cares? And yeah, like I said, you're going into river when like KATARINA's bot and Locke can just collapse on you, Trundle can collapse on you. This is just horrible. Like, you're just... Okay, so this is end of game review. I think this is where you just lose this game. You didn't determine that your win con was KATARINA at this point. You're completely desynced from what she wants to do. And yeah, and then like that greed in the top lane was really bad because you gave Trundle a double kill for that. Like, that was really bad for your tempo and for your Vladimir. And so the game's kind of really fucked at this point. And I like how you're blaming the Vladimir here. This is totally on you. This is all stuff you could have avoided if you had not greeted for the kill here and not played around this. Like, I mean, going for the ult was fine. I thought it was actually totally fine. It saves your Vladimir if at worst. Like, worst case scenario, it just saves your Vladimir. If you just didn't greed for the kill, this situation doesn't happen. And if you synced up with your mid laner who wants to actually roam and play on the map when she has priority and is actually winning against Locke, now she's not because you just handed her a kill. You kind of handed Locke a kill. Like, what is that? You actually gave him a shutdown, right? Yeah, you gave him 300 gold. So now the game's just completely fucked. And it's totally your fault. This game was on you. Okay, you whiff your ult. It's fine. Whatever. We don't go top because we really can't. At this point in the game, this is just really hard. to actually say to give any like practical advice because the game's just really in a doomed state at this point. Okay, we lose the dragon. That's totally fine. I think this is a great play by you. I'll just give the dragon because you're not gonna win bot lane fight. This Jinx is just chain inting. That is really unfortunate. I will give you a little bit of sympathy there. It sucks that the Jinx is just 0-5. Like I don't know what that was, level 1, where she just walked into a bush that was warded and Lux was sitting in it. It was warded and she just walked in it. It was like she wanted to lose. It was really weird. Maybe she could have just like she connected late, so maybe her Wi-Fi was just having really bad time. She could like I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt that like she wasn't inting. I think it was just probably a Wi-Fi issue because she connected late and it just looked like she like it was almost like she clicked like a minion and it died, but then like when she tried to click back, like her Wi-Fi cut out or something and her character just kept walking. You know, I don't know. Maybe her just internet's just really bad, but. It is unfortunate your bot lanes are really in a bad position, but that's exactly why that those plays that you missed out on that I was discussing are so important. Those are such important moments that if you would have been bot lane and could have like killed them with Katarina, like imagine the snowball effect. Bot lane losing wouldn't matter because Katarina and you would have been so strong that you could maybe overcome it, right? You would have a mid jungle that is really strong that can take their bot lane and jungle and mid. Sure, Trundle's going to be a fucking problem, but we deal with Trundle. Trundle wouldn't be such a problem if you wouldn't have inted in top lane. So, again, this game's just kind of all on you. You've made mistakes and made the game really hard. Okay, and this gank does nothing. We're ulting and missing the Trundle. It was a nice look, but yeah, I don't know. That was kind of... I guess you tried to predict. That's fine. But you kind of did it in vision, so... No way that's ever really hitting. Yeah. I don't know. Jinx is like just desperate for farm right now. She really is. She's just desperate for gold. I don't know why she stayed. She canceled her recall. That was really bad. That was so greedy. I mean, it's just like, it's desperation because she's so behind. She's so desperate for gold that she wanted the tower plate. It is what it is. I mean, Trundle's already fed. Like, I don't think this kill really matters that much, to be honest. So what do you do? This is fine. So Katarina is, I think, ready to fight at this point. She has ult, she has flash, she has ignite, she's bought her boots. So we're backing because we probably have item. I'm guessing you're Titanic at this point. So this is fine. This is a fine back. I would like to play with Katarina here, but I guess it's pretty risky. Like, we don't know where bot lane is at this point. They could have roamed. Yeah, there's Lux. Yeah, so this is totally fine to recall here. Katarina gets killed by herself anyway. It's pretty sick. You get a kill on Lock. That's awesome. So there's a way back into this game. This is just really hard at this point, though. I'll be honest. Oh, man. Yeah, this Katarina's popping off now. We just clear this wave? Okay. Katarina gets a shutdown. It's pretty cool. Can we smite it? Do we know how to smite? Oh, damn. Okay. I don't know where you're going. It's gonna recall over here, probably. Oh, this is so greedy, my guy. Can we just recall? How much gold do you have? 1350? So this, again, you're desynced with your team. I mean, like, you want to recall after this Krugs, probably, to spend money. But I wouldn't do it now at this point. I would probably just hang around in topside, because you know Katarina's roaming up to this wave. We can maybe try to pressure this tower with Katarina. I don't know what you're doing. Again, this is not good because we're playing with... Okay, so we're playing with our 1-in-6 Jinx when there's nobody... Like, you don't see anybody, do you? See anybody in fog? I mean, sure, Trundle's dead, but like... Where's Lux? Where's Ezreal? Where's Ivern? Do you have any idea? Okay, we get a kill. Do we have any idea? we do. We have no clue. We haven't seen them at all. Okay, so if Ivern and Jinx, or if Ivern, Ezreal, and Lux are here, this is like a horrible play. And we don't know, so this is kind of coin flip. You kind of got lucky. Okay, they're right here. And we're dying. Yeah, I don't know. This is just a horrible play. Again, for the same reasons. It's like you're playing with the 1 in 6 Jinx. I don't know why you just don't take the lock kill and then get the tower. Like, this is, we're face checking into their strong members. They're 3-0 Ezreal, 2-0 Lux. Just take the tower? I don't know why we're even trying this. This is just griefing. We could just, I mean, I guess the tower went naturally. Fine. But like, we're getting mad at Jinx. Like, why are we mad at Jinx? Like, you started this. You could have just left. You actually got the Jinx killed too, by the way. Like, disgusting behavior. You shouldn't be spamming that. Like, that's horrible. Like, it's really bad behavior for, like, no reason. Like, this is your play. You're the one who engaged on this. Jinx could have just left. She just got a kill on Lock, too. How much gold does she have? I guess she has no gold, but it looks like she has enough to maybe buy an item. Nope, I guess not. But still, like, what are we doing? You just got your Jinx killed for no reason. Just greed. Okay, so I'll just do one more sequence. I think we already know what the issue was. You're just kind of greedy, man. You're just way too greedy. And then blaming your team for plays that you're making and they're not working out. Okay, you whiff your ult again. Pretty bad. Guess what? Your Katarina. Where is your Katarina right now? Is she in bot lane? Why are you playing with the 1 in 7 Jinx? Like, this is just horrible. Sorry, I don't normally get so worked up over mistakes, but like when you're making these mistakes and then blaming your team, like spam pinging them like that, I just have no sympathy, man. I just don't. Did Katarina die? Katarina died bot lane because you weren't there. Okay. So like, why are you playing bot lane? Can we like help this Katarina get this kill in top lane? Sure, she's like kind of trolling by going in on Trundle, but like if you were here, I'm pretty sure Trundle just dies. Instead of wasting time bot lane playing around your 1 in 7 Jinx. Okay. Yeah, this game's kind of cooked now because your Katarina died. And again, you're just not fighting. Like, what are you doing crab for? Like, you're just farming way too much. What is this? You're just done. It seems like you're just tilted now and just playing off a tilt. So, I'll just stop the review there then. Okay. Hopefully that helps. You need to calm down and you just are over-forcing stuff. Like, you had a pretty good position in the game, and your Katarina was doing really well, and you just need to recognize that. Like, okay, my bot lane's losing, my top lane's losing. Let's play around Katarina. When Katarina wants to roam, you roam with her. Sync up with your mid laner here in this situation. You need to identify where your winning lanes are every single time you recall. Make it a habit. I think making a habit out of just anytime you go to recall, press tab, like buy your item. I guess like when you're recalling, think about the item you're buying, obviously, but then press tab and see who's strong. Look at what your teammates want to do on this next recall when you come out of base, before you come out of base. And that'll determine what your next move is, right? Your Katarina is strong, you clear your camps, and you see Katarina roam into the river and going to bot side. No, absolutely no reason to be running into top side of your jungle. If you're clearing your bot side camps, Katarina roams into bot lane, you're roaming with her. It'll give you way higher chance of success. Hope that helps. And yeah, try not to tilt too much. I understand this game's really tilting. The Jinx was really horrible and making the game very difficult. But you also made the game very difficult. You inted top lane and made Vladimir's hard lane even harder, like pretty much impossible. So good luck.